January 26, 1945. Near the small village of Holtzwihr, the snow-covered fields were shaking under artillery fire. German forces were pushing hard, desperate to break through American lines during the final months of World War II. Among the U.S. soldiers holding the line was a thin, quiet, 19-year-old Audie Murphy. By the end of the day, historians would struggle to explain what he did alone, outnumbered and running out of hope. Murphy was a second lieutenant commanding a rifle company that was badly outnumbered. German infantry, supported by 6 tanks, advanced steadily through the frozen ground. Shells exploded around the Americans, ripping apart trees and men alike. Murphy knew the truth immediately. If they staged, they would be wiped out. He ordered his men to pull back to safer ground. Then he did something no officer was expected to do. He stayed behind, wounded, alone, and still standing. Murphy was already wounded. His leg burned with pain, and shrapnel had torn into his body. Blood soaked his uniform. The smart choice would have been to retreat with his men. Instead, Murphy limped forward toward a burning M10 tank destroyer that had been knocked out moments earlier. Flames climbed its metal hull. Ammunition inside was cooking off, exploding without warning. Any second, the vehicle could blow apart. Murphy climbed on top anyway. One man against an army mounted on the burning tank destroyer was a .50 caliber machine gun. Murphy grabbed it, exposed completely, in open ground, and opened fire. German infantry advanced in waves. Murphy fired relentlessly. He didn't spray bullets blindly. He aimed and controlled his fire. Each burst tore into advancing soldiers who believed the American line had collapsed. German tanks began firing at him directly. Explosions threw dirt and metal into the air. Shrapnel ripped past his head. Flames licked at his boots. Murphy never stopped shooting. For over an hour, he held that position alone. The impossible defense German soldiers tried to flank him. Murphy adjusted. They tried to rush him. Murphy cut them down. They tried to overwhelm him with numbers. Murphy refused to give ground. By the time the attack finally broke, around 50 German soldiers were dead or wounded. The infantry assault collapsed. The tanks withdrew. What should have been a complete American disaster turned into a failed German offensive. One man had stopped an entire company, calling the counterattack. When Murphy finally ran out of ammunition, he climbed down from the burning tank destroyer. His body was shaking from blood loss and exhaustion. Then he did something almost unbelievable. He picked up a field radio and calmly called in artillery and directed his men to counterattack. Moments later, Murphy led them forward limping, bleeding, still in command. The ground he had defended alone was retaken. After the smoke cleared, only after the fighting ended did Murphy allow medics to treat him. His uniform was torn apart. His wounds were severe. His face was blackened by smoke. He had held the line when it mattered most. His actions saved his battalion from being overrun and possibly destroyed. Recognition and legacy. For his extraordinary bravery, Audie Murphy was awarded the Medal of Honor, the highest military honor in the United States. At just 19 years old, he became one of the most decorated American soldiers of World War II. But Murphy never described himself as a hero. He later said he fought because his men needed time to escape and because someone had to stand there. Why this moment still matters. Audie Murphy was not the biggest soldier. He was not the strongest. He was not fearless. What he had was resolve. On January 26, 1945, in a frozen field near Holt, one wounded teenager chose to stand his ground when retreat would have been easier, and in doing so, he changed the fate of everyone behind him. History remembers generals and battles, but sometimes war is decided by a single man who refuses to move.